All right, let's get right into it. If you own real assets, things like gold and silver, you're holding real value. But the big question is, how do you make that value actually work for you in today's digital world? In this explainer, we are going to break down exactly that, how to turn your physical assets into a liquid, usable part of your modern financial life. Okay, let's dive in.
So here's the fundamental problem, right? You've made the incredibly smart choice to hold sound money. But when that mortgage payment is due, or you're at the grocery store checkout, that gold bar sitting in your safe, well, it isn't very helpful in that moment. It's incredibly valuable, for sure, but it's not liquid. So the real challenge is, how do we bridge that gap?
And this slide really gets to the heart of the why. On the left, you've got fiat currency, the stuff we use every day. It's essentially a debt instrument, and it's literally designed to lose value over time. On the right, you have sound money, like gold. It has its own value. It doesn't need someone else's promise to be worth something. That's what zero counterparty settlement means. You've already chosen the asset that holds its value. Now let's make it practical.
Okay, so how do we build this new financial system? Well, it all starts with something real, something tangible, a foundation of trust that you can literally hold in your hands. We're not building this on abstract promises or digital fluff. We're building it on solid physical metal.
Now, this image here does a perfect job of visualizing the whole ecosystem. Think of it like a pyramid. At the very bottom, you have the most important part, the bedrock, physical precious metals. This is your core wealth. Then, built on top of that, you have your settlement assets, things like gold coins and bars. And then, at the very peak, you have your transactional currency, the layer that lets you actually spend and live your life day to day.
So, where do these physical assets actually live? They are secured with the United Precious Metals Association, or UPMA for short. You can think of it as your own personal Fort Knox. It's a network of high-security vaults where your gold and silver are held. They're verified and they're fully insured by Lloyd's of London. And let me be clear, this isn't an IOU. This is your metal in a vault with your name on it.
And this is how we bring that top layer of the pyramid to life. Goldbacks are, frankly, one of the most brilliant innovations in sound money. Each one of these notes contains a precise, verifiable amount of pure gold, which makes it actual, spendable currency. It completely solves what's called the divisibility problem. I mean, you can't just shave a little bit of gold off a coin to buy a cup of coffee, right? But you can absolutely use a goldback.
So, we've established the physical side. It's locked down. It's secure. But how do we connect that physical gold to the digital world? Well, that's where the digital trust engine comes in. It's a way to prove what you own without ever giving up control of it.
Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand what this technology is not. It is not a bank that's holding your money. It's not a broker making trades for you. It's not a marketplace. Think of it more like a high-tech digital notary. Its only job is to verify and record that transactions happen correctly and legally. That distinction means everything.
This quote right here, this is the key to understanding the entire model. The value, your actual dollars, moves through the normal payment systems you already use every single day, like a simple bank transfer. The AppPro system never touches your money. All it does is create a permanent, unchangeable digital receipt, the proof that a transaction was authorized and that it actually happened.
Now, when you hear words like blockchain or Ethereum, don't get intimidated. In this system, just think of it as a shared public journal or a ledger. All it's doing is creating that digital notary stamp we just talked about, a secure timestamp that proves an action happened at a very specific time. Again, it is not moving your money, it's just the technology used to securely verify everything along the way.
Okay, so you've got your physical gold safely secured, and you've got a digital system to prove you own it. Now, how do we flip the switch and turn on the power? This is the activation phase, and this is what turns your passive pile of metal into an active financial tool you can actually use.
And the key concept here is something called the fiduciary trigger. As this slide shows, it's a specific threshold, an aggregate balance of $2,500 in your account. Think of this like a water line. Once the value of your assets crosses this level, it signals to the system that you're a serious participant, and that's when the most powerful features get switched on.
And getting there is a really simple two-step process. First, you establish what's called a posture by securing a baseline of just 15 goldbacks in your UPMA account. This just shows you're ready to use the system for transactions. Second, you cross that $2,500 aggregate balance we just talked about. That's it. Once you do that, your account is fully activated.
And what happens the moment you cross that trigger? Two incredibly important things happen. First, your account is immediately covered by the platform's massive $100 million master insurance policy. Second, it unlocks the ability to tokenize your assets. And all that means is creating a secure digital certificate that represents your physical gold, which is the absolute key to creating real liquidity.
And that brings us to the ultimate goal, the whole reason this system was even built. This is how you finally unlock the true value of what you own, making it work for you. So let's ask that core question one more time. How do you pay your bills? How do you invest in new opportunities or handle emergencies using the value of your gold without ever having to sell a single ounce of it?
The answer is something that could only exist in this unique digital environment. It's called an atomic flash loan. Let's break that down. It's basically an instant, uncollateralized loan. The entire process, borrowing the cash you need, paying the merchant or the bill, and then repaying the loan from the value of your assets, it all happens at once, almost instantaneously.
And when I say instantaneously, how fast are we talking? The entire transaction from start to finish takes about 12 seconds. Yeah, that's it. That's the time it takes for a single block to be confirmed on the Ethereum network. You use your card, and in 12 seconds, the merchant is paid, and the loan is completely settled.
Now, that might sound almost futuristic. So you're probably asking, what about the risk? Well, this is where the built-in safety net comes in. It's called atomic reversion. And what it means is that if any single part of that 12-second transaction fails for any reason at all, say the internet connection drops, the entire thing is instantly canceled. It just reverts back as if it never even happened. No money moves, no debt is created. It's designed to be a completely risk-free process for everyone involved.
So, we've covered the physical foundation, the digital engine, and the incredible payoff. So, what are the concrete first steps to putting this system to work for you?
Getting started really just comes down to these 4 main steps. First, you join UPMA to establish a secure, insured home for your physical assets. Second, you activate your posture by getting that small baseline of gold backs and crossing the $2,500 trigger. Third, you initialize what's called an active case. Just think of it as opening a secure digital file for a specific transaction. And finally, once the transaction is complete, you receive a unique, unchangeable digital receipt, proving it's all done. So, we'll end with this thought. We spend so much of our lives trying to earn more, chasing a currency that is literally designed to lose its value. But what if true financial freedom was never about earning more fiat currency? What if it was about finally, truly unlocking the incredible value of the sound money you already own?